Okay, so this is practice two or exercise two. And in the list, I think we have close to 12 practice exercises. So still a lot more to go, but this is practice two, exercise two. And in this case, this is what we are building today. And the material is plain carbon steel, and we're going to note the mass and see that it's actually correct. I'm going to put the mass up here, and then we can try and check it out after building and make sure if you like get the same thing, then it's all good. Um, so I'm going to put the mass that it should be up here. Okay, so just take a minute or two to glance through. We have the isometric view here of the parts. There's a hole that is in the profile of a hexagon, right? It's not a through hole because you see here that the section view shows us how deep the hole is. I mean, with respect to this face, but it shows us how deep the hole is, so it's not a through hole. The holes by the side though are through holes, so that's a through hole. Um, anything else? Anything else? No, nothing fancy. It shows us the height of um, you know, of the revolved profile we have up there. Yeah, everything looks okay. Everything looks good. Nothing too fancy, and yeah, we can just try to start building it now. Okay, so go to your new, go to open parts, and actually start designing. Now, um, like I said before, I always like to start designing from as closest to the origin as possible. In this case, the origin is here, which means the origin is basically the center of this. Looks like a slot, right? Like an ellipse, I would say. Is it an ellipse? Yeah, exactly. It's an ellipse. So yeah, we can start by designing the ellipse first, and then try to extrude that, and then we make a hole up here. Try to extrude that, and then we make a hexagon, and then try to cut the hexagon through by this amount. So, okay, let's jump right in, starting with our ellipse. Now, of course, the ellipse is on the top plane, so we'll start our sketch from the top plane. Okay, so we'll start our sketch here. Now, I always find it um, a little bit difficult to sketch ellipse, so I pretty much just do anything initially, and then use relations and constraints to straighten it out how I want, right? So I first dimension. So you dimension this will be the length of the minor axis. That will be 15, and then dimension the length of the major axis. And in this case, that would be 45. Okay, now all you need to do here, it's not the end of the world. All I do after this is basically to tell SolidWorks what shape my ellipse would be. Because if you look at it, it's pretty much just now anchored in a horizontal and vertical fashion. And that's all I need to do. So I just need to tell SolidWorks this should be horizontal to this. So these 2 points should be horizontal, and yeah, straighten everything up. So we have an ellipse that is 15. The length of the minor axis is 15, and length of the major axis is 45. Okay. Now, I remember what I did in the previous video. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it. It's the previous exercise about holes, especially holes that go through the extruded body. You can do the holes right in here, or you can do the holes as a hole wizard after you've extruded the body. I think it's easier to do it right here, especially when it's just a through hole and especially when it's nothing too fancy, just like a regular tool hole that goes into an extrusion you are doing. It makes more sense for me to do it like this. That's what I'm gonna do. Gonna do a circle, and I'm gonna do a circle here. The two circles are equal, so I'll just go ahead and tell SolidWorks that. And the two circles should be 3.5. I'll go ahead and tell SolidWorks that as well. 3.5. Now I need to tell SolidWorks that this distance from this to this is 5, and it's also horizontal. The center of the circle is horizontal to the vertex, or one to the vertex of the minor of the minor axis rather. So this is all horizontal, that's all defined. And then I just pretty much do the same thing here. Dimension 2 points. We have 5 millimeters between them, and then the actual points are horizontal. Okay, that's all defined. So that's exactly how it should look. And then we go ahead to close the sketch. And then we have that extruded. Again, for extrusion, couple of options. There's a mid plane which basically splits it um, um, through the plane you're working on, and this will be 5 and this will be 5. But that's not what we want because the origin is right at the bottom here. So it's going to be a regular extrusion, a blind extrusion, and the length would be 3.5. So the length is 3.5. Okay, so we have that taken care of there. The length being 3.5. The next thing to do is the circular profile here. So there should be a circular boss base here, which is this. Go ahead and have that done. First of all, you can check out our isometric view. Everything looks good. It's the way it should look, right? Next thing to do would be the boss base, circular boss. Okay, so it's a regular circle. It's right at the center. All we need to do is just um want to dimension the circle. And for dimensioning, the circle should be 12 inches, or 12 diameter, millimeters, sorry. So it's a 12 millimeter circle. We've had that done, have it extruded. It should be extruded up 10 millimeters. Okay, 10 millimeters extruded up. Okay, perfect. That's what we want as well. We can try an isometric view. Everything looks good. Next thing to do is literally the hexagon profile. So I have a hexagon. We do a sketch again. So a hexagon profile. Polygons are always the hardest thing for me to find here. I have no idea why I never seem to find them. Okay, all right. It's always right there looking at me, but I always seem to have a problem finding them. But okay, so the hexagon is right here, and of course we can anchor it however we want to anchor it, and then just arrange it later on. Oh, I didn't check the number of sides of the polygon. It's usually here though. The number of the sides is usually somewhere here. Can't seem to find it, but I can just delete it and start again. Okay, number of sides, X here for the number of sides. Um, the number of sides is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. Is it inscribed in circle or circumscribed in circle? Is it inscribed in circle or circumscribed in circle? I mean, in this case, we can just choose inscribed in circle. So the next thing to do would be, oh yeah, and by the way, to know like which it should be, if it basically gives you the flat, because this is like a flat to flat distance, um That means we pretty much want it to be inscribed in circle, because that way it's like getting, it's like specifying the diameter of the circle. I'll show you guys what that means in a second. Okay, so it's a regular polygon, nothing too fancy. And you see that it's literally inscribed in a circle. So if you look at this closely, the dimension, in the practice exercise, they gave us a distance between the flat to flat distance between one side of the polygon and the opposite side, which is 7 millimeters. So if you look at this here, any two sides you want to take that looks like that, getting the distance will pretty much be getting the diameter of the circle. Because if you use this, for instance, I literally went a line going from here to here, that's the diameter of the inscribed circle. So we can just as much dimension the circle itself. We can say the circle is 12 or 7, in this case rather. We can say the circle is 7. All we need to do now just to tell SolidWorks uh, how we want the polygon to be, because we haven't specified the yeah, like we haven't anchored the polygon in terms of horizontal and vertical alignment. So just need to do that. Just pick any of the sides and tell SolidWorks that's horizontal. And your polygon should be defined here. And if you just want to test that it is the same thing, just try to dimension polygon from here to here, right? It will be driven, or just to see it out, and it's still 7 millimeters, which is what we want. So just make it driven if you want, or just delete it. It's just a test. And that's what we want, 7 millimeters. We want it at the top here as well. And now, if you notice, this circular extrusion, I had that on top of this, right? And I mean, like I said, it's just like I was saying, different styles for things like this. But in the dimensioning, we're giving the length or the height from the top of this extrusion. That's why I pretty much just use this face and that's extrude along. But however way you want to do it is perfectly fine. Okay, so it seems everything is how we want it to be. Check the isometric view, check the top view. No, I think I see a problem. Oh, okay. Yep, check the top edge. I just wanted to be sure that the top view is aligned parallel to the horizontal axis that we want it to be. Okay, so it's all good. Next thing to do is your extruded cut. So we extrude cut. Now, this is where you really need to make use of any your extrusion skills, the advanced skills in extrusion. Apart from the regular blind or through all bolt or mid plane, there's the up to vertex, up to surface, offset from surface, and all of that. And it comes in really handy in cases like this, because if you look at the section view isn't really giving us the dimensioning from here to here. I mean, you could infer it, because if here is 10 and here is 3.5, then here to here will be 6.5. But we really don't have to. All we need to do is use offset from surface, right? So we're starting from the sketch plane, which is here. We're using a blind. We're not using a blind in this case. I mean, if you want to use a blind, you could try to use a blind, and then we could use 6.5, which is exactly where we want it to be. But that's not what we are going to do. We're going to do offset from surface. We select the surface. What surface do you want it to be offset from? We want it offset from this point. Then, like, how much of an offset do you want? Do you want it more or do you want it less? Just give me a second. I'll just play around with this until I get what I want. Okay. So I basically clicked on reverse offset, which is giving me the offset from the other side, which I don't want. I'm just gonna take that off, and this is exactly what I want. It's offset from this surface, and it basically is an extruded cut up to 3.5 millimeters away from the surface. So we save, fully defined, and material is plain carbon steel. Plain carbon steel is the material here. And then, like I said, with appearances, just to be fancy. Okay, try to look at this isometric view, and that's exactly what you want. So everything looks good. Oh, don't save. Oh, I mean, for you guys, of course, save. You can definitely have it saved if you want. Next thing to do is mass properties and try to get the size 20.62 grams, which is what we're shooting for earlier. Okay, and that's all for exercise two. Um, Pretty much the same things we've been doing earlier, a little bit longer than the last one or than the exercise one, but still the same things, still the same concepts. Just have to be creative and you just have to find your own way of doing certain things. Take your time, play with it, and you'll eventually get what you want. So, bye guys, and see you in exercise 3.